For, I guess, can we call this a rivalry game? You've got the Mavericks affiliate and the Spurs affiliate going toe-to-toe in the Lone Star State.
Yeah, I wrote today on DallasBasketball.com in review of the Mavericks-Spurs game that we can't really call it a rivalry anymore. I think the Spurs won 14 of the last 16 there, and you just got beat by a million. But this isn't that. This is a Legends team that wants to secure a playoff berth, and really clever, innovative idea that the rest of the NBA almost doesn't dare steal. Too risque.
I've seen some try to emulate, but it's just not the same.
Not quite.
No, the Mavs Maniacs. I remember I was at the very first game they debuted, and it was a riot. McCamey and Parks Jr. hip to hip. McCamey stays on his feet, and he finishes with a layup.
That the Spurs closed the quarter with. Let's hope that that rhythm was reestablished and these players can find their way back in the paint and find their way to some easier looks as they went cold to finish the quarter.
And it starts on the defensive end, and the Legends begin the quarter with a stop. Parks, Miller, Ashley back to Parks. Got a little room baseline, but it's rejected by Wright. McCamey, Wright, Johnson, Sykes.
And for Texas, this is essentially a three-guard group.
They've got Miller, Murray, Parks, and then Ashley and Singh are their forward/center combo. Second quarter scoreboard brought to you by JCPenney. Not showing something favorable tonight as of yet. After that infraction.
Sets with Jamil Wilson. It worked that time.
Murray. Cut off by McCamey. Corner kick, Parks, back to Murray. 9 on the shot clock. Puts it up, short, but Parks soars in for the rebound. Pledger, second chance, in and out. Legends have missed 10 straight shots. Over to Travis Blakely, third member of our broadcast team. Travis?
Legends come up with that third straight stop that you've been talking about there, Fish. That's also their third straight defensive possession sitting in a zone. You'll notice that the players up top are passing along the perimeter players as they cross the midline, and Jamil Wilson is manning the middle since the Legends do appear to be short-handed in regards to bigs. So
yeah, and that's a good observation, and that may have been what Parks and Wilson were discussing, making sure they were on that same page. Good point, Travis.
Thomas can't finish after receiving the ball in the short corner. Here come the Legends after a stop. Into their secondary offense, and now they pull it out with 15 to go in the shot clock. Holloway working with Wilson. Kicking corner. And Murray had his heel on the sideline. And they'll turn it back over to the Spurs.
Legends want to keep. He sucks the defense with him, and
Holloway with a screen from Wilson.
see, there it is. The drive and then kick back behind you to Wilson, who's open. Run it again.
2 on the shot clock. Wilson's got to get it up. He does, and draws contact. He'll go to the line.
Garrett, that can be bread and butter here. Hypotheticals.
Okay.
I don't deal in hypotheticals.
There you go. That was a good cover-up. I didn't know either. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. McCamey, 10 on the shot clock. Down low to Thomas. He's doubled. Wilson coming over to help Pledger, and it leads to a turnover. 2-on-1. Miller, left-handed layup off the feed from Holloway. And it's a three-point game, Fish.
That's twice now that Holloway has read the direction of the Austin off. He collides with Ndoye, but that was not, it was incidental.
And Johnson travels.
Johnson's used that move a couple times tonight. And
10 turnovers committed by the Spurs. Murray, Pledger to tie, and he can't get it to go. Stephen Pledger tonight from behind the arc. He's struggling again, 1 of 4.
I'm going to argue, by the way, that
and he can't get it to go. Stephen Pledger tonight from behind the arc. He's struggling again, 1 of 4.
I'm going to argue, by the way, that those 10 turnovers aren't just committed by the Spurs.
Forced by the Legends.
Yeah, I really think that.
Miller to a trailing Wilson. Right down to shoot. One-handed. And Nick Van Exel throws his hands up with his palms facing the sky. And Nick Van Exel throws his hands up with his palms facing the sky, asking, why can't we do that more often? And McCamey takes it right back to Wilson, laying it up. The layup and the dunk count the same. 3-point lead still, but here's Miller. And you see, Fish, the Legends with pace. Out in transition, even on a made bucket, technically not transition, but getting the ball up the floor quickly. That works. But this is a very good three-point shooting team. Second in the league coming into tonight, shooting 40% or thereabouts. McCamey splitting defenders, but he can't finish. Here comes Miller. Murray to even it back up. He's short on the three.
Get 5 men back now. 35 seconds left in the half.
Rejected by Wilson. Big time defense there for the Marquette product. And the Legends can hold for the final shots to close out the half. Holloway, hesitation to the hoop, finger rolls it home. 1-point game, Murray the steal at the buzzer. Oh, just offline. University, but just growing up in the state of Oklahoma.
And then played at the University of Denver.
And a addition recently, and the Legends were first exposed to him through the local tryout process. We'll see what he can do on the floor. But it's Miller here, and he draws the foul. Which I think to minor league baseball, where there's a ton of players, you know that you're just going to do what you've been doing for a long time. But when you get called from the Mongolian League to the Legends, you've got to know what they do on offense. You got to know the flow offense. You got to know set plays. You got to learn defensive philosophies. You got to know strengths and weaknesses of your teammate, if you're a point guard especially. As Miller up and under, a crafty finish. There are a lot of components that go into this, and later on we'll get Travis Blakely's thoughts. He's getting moved.
But you're down 7, maybe about to be 8, with 4 minutes left in the third. But I don't know that you're saying, okay, Cam Griffin's on the floor, let's explode now as a 5-man unit. I think you try to survive with him on the floor.
Spurs have grown their lead to 8 as Holloway turns it over. Washburn in transition, going to take it himself. And at an awkward angle, he lays it in. Adjusting his body mid-air. Griffin and short on the fall away, but Thomas the offensive rebound. Second chance, can't get it to go.
Well, Thomas is the challenge right now for Wilson and the rest of the Spurs. He is really showing the capability of taking over inside.
14 points for Thomas. Holloway to the hoop, and he gets fouled. Holloway with a quiet second.
Designed, didn't it?
Well executed.
Yeah.
Spurs back out to a 3-point lead. Griffin gets cut off. 5 on the shot clock. Parks, 3-ball to tie. And it nestles on the back rim. Sykes tracks down the rebound. Griffin almost takes.
I doubt of what you did in the last 7 minutes of the second quarter, a time that really turned this game around.
Sykes, 14-footer off the iron. Parks the board, and the Legends can hold for 1. 5 on the clock. Singh setting a screen for Holloway. 1 second left. The layup, and it doesn't go. He got a little too deep underneath the hoop. Nick Van Exel wanted a call. He didn't get it. As we go to the break. Oh, he didn't get it. As we go to the break. 12 more minutes.
We just have to focus on being us. I think sometimes we play opponents, we get a little rattled, we lose our identity a little bit. Our identity is to get up and down, space the floor, and equal opportunity shots.
How has the zone formation defensively helped this team to not just stay in the game, but get back when the Spurs have taken a lead?
A lot. To be quite honest, it's just rest a bit. We talked about staying aggressive at halftime.
Down at the Austin bench.
Miller. Low pass to Parks, otherwise he might have had a three-point look. Miller hesitating, attacking, and he draws the foul.
Two's got to touch the ball on every trip. The changeup can't be your out pitch. Because I know a changeup is coming. I'm going to hit it 450 feet. Would that be long enough to get it out of here, 450 feet?
That would be long enough to get it out most places. All of them these days. Wilson fakes the three. A little too hard for Parks. He corrals it, though, and lays it in with his left.
It's unorthodox, but the Legends are benefiting from little...
Hasn't gotten better for them at home. The homestand started on Wednesday. They lost a tough one in double overtime to the Iowa Energy before getting pummeled last night by the Raptors squad by 56. And you're hoping maybe that they could use this home court advantage against a really good Austin team. And still with a shot as Wilson knocks it down, 4-point game.
And in that 4-game streak, no singular pattern. Maybe you lost in the... And they have interchangeability. One of the things about the Golden State Warriors, the world champions, that's so underrated there is they have the interchangeable parts. They can, for instance, on defense, if you try to run a pick and roll on them, they'll switch it. They don't care. Because the other guy is as good a defender against you as the former guy was against you. And maybe these Spurs could do some of that as well with this group. The record is as good as it is.
3-point game. Johnson with 10 on the clock. Around to Thomas screen. Yeah. Rolling, spinning, laying it in.
Are you sick of me saying it? That's the guy.
I think Nick Van Exel is probably sick of thinking about it. Pledger, 3-ball. He hits it. It's a 2-point game, Fish, with everything that has seemingly worked in favor.